Now, one of the things that I sent you that I was kind of excited about 2022, I want to hear about your thoughts on this, is the idea of us getting away from this sanitized environment and starting to put our bodies back into stressful situations. You've seen a lot of this, whether it's Wim Hof, cold immersion therapy, infrared sauna, meaning you're putting your body into a stressful situation, whether it's cold, hot, whether it's a situation of intermittent fasting or fasting itself, right?
Yeah.
We're trying to build the body. And this is what I didn't understand about a lot of people, how they've sort of weakened the immune system in the body, thinking that was a good thing, when we know the only way to get big in the gym is to really rip it apart, to shred your muscles, to really go in and push yourself and push past pain. And that's what builds muscle. And of course, then you need protein, everything else. But I think you're going to see this all across the board, even on the mental side, pushing yourself to do things mentally, if not to meditate as well, to silence, which is actually quite difficult for many people. So the idea of challenging your body to make it stronger and healthier and optimized, I think that's going to go mainstream. I think you're getting to the point where everyone's trying to do like ice challenge, this and that. But I really do think medicine is going to start to approach this a little bit differently, first with the integrative practitioners, then a little bit more with the mainstream. But what are your thoughts on all of this?
Yeah, so there's two sides of this that I've gotten to become aware of. First of all, is the Wim Hof kind of side of things and the Navy SEAL Jocko Willink side of things.
Yeah.
And then there's also the Ray Peat side of things, which recently been interested in. And they're basically dichotomous to one another. They see things differently. Ray Peat believes that we're overstressed out and that the stressors themselves can be detrimental to our health, while the others say that we're under stress, we're basically couch potatoes. I think it falls right in the middle, as you're saying.
Right.
The stressors will, for example, if you upregulate epinephrine from a cold bath, or if you do a workout and dopamine is higher, you're going to have activity with T cells being elevated as well. You're going to have NK killer cells activate and help with immunity. Right there and then, you're boosting your immune system. The next step that you should do is make sure that you decompress, which can be an emotional stressor, or spiritual stressor, such as meditating. You're decompressing the physical body, but you're stimulating a different side of your psyche that may help even more in other ways. So it's finding the fine line between being just enough that you're producing some beneficial compounds, because without stressors, you don't produce glutathione. You don't produce the superoxide dismutase that takes care of the superoxide radical. Those things will only get produced in the presence of stress. But then at the same time, you may hamper their production if you're overstressed. So finding the right balance of you stress, this stress, what works for the individual will definitely be something that, if you can manage properly, will put you on a totally different level.
It's all about that balance, really is. Because I was reading this book, Dopamine Nation. Basically, someone that was a drug addict replaced it with cold immersion therapy and said they got a similar high from that as they did with cocaine. But they kept taking it too far, because then they got that and they put themselves into a very stressful situation where they were doing it so much that their immune system was hampered. Everything started to backfire. So you got to have that balance. And that's the one thing I think people need to understand, is that with everything, there is a fine line. There is where you could take it too far.